What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Frank Sutton coming to you from Dallas, Texas. Thought I'd make a video. I don't make a video often. Actually, this is my first musical video as far as doing something like this. But thought I'd make a video. I'm going to install a new preamp in my bass, and I thought I'd make a video about the process of having it done. You know, just so people can get a better idea of the preamp. If you're like me, when I heard about this particular preamp, I searched around, looked around, saw some videos, and it was a couple of good videos that gave me an idea on how the preamp would sound. And of course, to me, I feel like the more, the better. So if you get more videos to look at with different type players, maybe a different sound, going to a different bass, maybe more information about the preamp, then it'll give you a better idea, so you can make a better choice. For me, it's a little bit of a story about how I went with this particular preamp. I have a Fender American 5-string. It's my main bass, the bass that I actually go to. For those out there, can't go wrong with the Fender. Fender is, in my opinion, is the perfect bass. Sounds good in any situation, any amp. I think it's the only bass that I play with a couple of heavyweight players. I tour. I'm actually a keyboard player, and Fender's the only bass that you can pull out that's not a $5,000 or $6,000 bass that cats look at like, hey, it's a Fender. Everyone has one. If you got a $12,000 Federa, that same player, guarantee you, he got a Fender someplace, or a couple of Fenders someplace in his arsenal. So, it's the perfect bass. But, I had my Fender out on the road, took it on a gig, and ended up getting a dent in the back of it. Spent $150 on a really nice gig bag for it, extra padding, bolt down so you could hold the bass in place. Still have a dent. So, so what I thought I would do, I would find, maybe like a nice mid-grade bass. And, seems like when you got money, you really can't find what you want. So, I was looking around maybe for something used I can gig with, or, maybe do my, rehearsals or, local gigs. So I stopped by a local music store just to see here, what they had. And they had the Squire names off because I'm going to do my own decal and stuff in the front. But, I saw it, and like most bass players, I play, nice high-end bass. I've had a couple of high-end basses. So, I know Squires from a professional level isn't looked at as a serious bass. So, I just thought I'd play it, favors the Fender, with the feel in the neck, and, I've had a Fender Mexican. Played it, and I actually liked the tone. It was it's a very good tone in this bass. Can't go wrong with jazz pickups. So, I played it, and I bought it. I got this bass for $120 at a local music store. It's in excellent condition. Whoever had it took very good care of the bass or whatever. So, it's a great bass. It's in great shape. My only problem with the bass, like I said, it needed some work. The actual knob here was loose or came off, so it needs to work with that. So another reason why I bought the preamp was because the tone knob was stuck in place. And again, for $120, and that's with tax, you couldn't beat it. So I bought this a couple of days ago, and then I went and got the Audere preamp, or Audere. Different people pronounce it different ways. So I was going to have this preamp put in here. So, I went out and got it, but let me first say this too, a lot of bass players, that have high-end basses, and of course I have one. I've had an MTD, I've had a couple of high-end basses. It's a myth, and I do say a myth, that you can't get a pro sound from a more economically priced bass, and that's not necessarily true. I am a firm believer that you get what you pay for. There's a reason why a Ken Smith costs $5,000. That can't be argued. So I'm kind of on both ends. You have people that are fans of economical price basses to say that you don't need a high-end bass. Necessarily, that's not true either. It's more or less of what you you know, what you do with your bass, or what kind of music you play, what level, you know, or you know that you're at. If you're a pro, you probably won't be walking around with, you know, an actual Squire playing on a tour. You may gig at a rehearsal or shit on it. If you're a, you know, person that play maybe in your local, you know, bands around, you know, in your neighborhoods or your local bars and clubs, you probably won't have a $6,000 Ken Smith. So if you're on the high end, you have a problem with economical basses. If you're on the low end, you have a problem with the high end basses. And the truth is someplace in the middle for everybody. You can get an excellent sounding bass, to economical bass to sound good with just a preamp. Will it sound like a Ken Smith? Probably not. Will this bass sound like my Fender American once I'm done? Similarly, but no. You can always tell the actual difference of the sound. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But on the flip end of that, you're not going for the particular sound of a Fender. You're going for a more polished, professional tone. So the goal is to get a more professional tone, or a more polished tone than the tone of a particular bass. And that's where I think the problem comes in, because people compare, well, a Squire isn't a Fender, it's not a Fender American, it's not a Fender Mexican. True, but you're not particularly going for that sound. Of course, if you want that sound, you probably want to buy that bass. But if you want a more professional sound where you can get Fender-like characteristics, and like I say, these, you know, these basses, you know, this is the same body. I looked up the stats, the same wood that's in the Fender Mexican, and actually some of the Fenders American. It's an Audere body. Audere's Audere, so it's not like the Audere on the Fender, you know, on a higher end Fender came from, you know, the pearly gates of heaven. It's an Audere body. Audere's Audere. Some of the craftsmanship, the truth, I have a Fender, you know, and it's excellent craftsmanship, but it's a true story. My first American Fender I bought, I actually got rid of it because it had some problems, and I felt in the actual craftsmanship. I had binding, the binding began to pull up off the bass, and it was kind of a rush job as far as how it was made. So everything that says, you know, American made, it's not about where it comes from, it's about the person making it. If they don't have the same, you know, standard of quality that the actual company stands for, then, you know, you may get a Fender American bass that don't have excellent quality. So, you know, I took it back and sold it, and I ended up getting an MTD, and then, you know, just gigging a lot, and, you know, locally on tours, and you know, hearing different players. I went back to a Fender because, again, it's a sound that you really can't get from, you know, any bass. It has its own tone. So it's not necessarily true. So my thing is, if you can't, a lot of us can't afford $5,000 to $6,000 basses. I get that. And, you know, most of us, this is where it's at. You know, you can afford an actual Squire, but you want some of the tone. Get a preamp. Go with a preamp. So I'm a fan on both sides. You know, I like the high-end stuff. If I could buy all of it, I would. But most of us can't. I can't. So this is my alternative. With that being said, this is the Audere preamp with a volume, balance. This is a mid-high, mid-low. This is a Z-switch where you can get, it's like for different styles of playing. You can go from a funk playing more to the original passive tone to an actual low Z tone, and of course your bass and treble. Now, a lot of people ask me how come I was going with this preamp. I went with this preamp because I know bass mods. Love bass mods basses. I'm going to get one. Love the tone of them. I know a couple of guys got them. But I went with this because this one doesn't have any routing or need to do any routing. Supposedly. We'll see once we start. But I heard that 90% of the jazz bass model basses, the actual routing cavity is big enough for you to add this preamp without any, you know, extra routing. So for me, I don't have time for all that. I don't want to wait 3 or 4 days to send it off for somebody to route it. So I don't have to route an actual battery, you know, compartment on the back or anything. So this is supposed to fit into my cavity with the battery all in one piece, so it's less work. This is a little more than the bass mods. The bass mods is 89 bucks. The Audere is paid $149 for this. Big ups to the Audere Corporation. I ordered this on a Saturday evening, which the company, of course, was closed. So, you know, I ordered and paid for it. And really wasn't expecting them to really get to the order to probably Tuesday or Wednesday to be shipped out, maybe getting it Friday or Saturday of this week. I ordered it Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and I woke up Monday morning, and before I could check my email, they had already sent that they got the order and it was already shipped. So they shipped it fast. This was a Monday. Today's Wednesday, and I got this today. So very fast company, you know, as far as shipping. Everything I've heard from them is, you know, excellent stuff. Have a friend, have a Roscoe. He has one of these in his bass that came with the bass, not a jazz model, but it's a Audere preamp. Love the way his sound play his. It's a great sounding bass. I don't know how fast, if you live in the Midwest or East Coast, you'll get this, but you know, it's pretty quick. You know, you think about the turnaround. I think it's 2-day priority. I'm in Texas, so I think the company's in Oregon, so you know, maybe give an extra day or two, maybe a day, you know, if you live maybe towards the East Coast or the Midwest. But excellent situation with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the bass today and tonight, and you know, get it right. Change my strings out because the strings are kind of old on here, you know, when I bought the bass. Like I said, other than that, you know, it needed, you know, a tad bit of work, but for the price I got it for and what I'm going to do with it, you know, this is coming out anyway, so it didn't matter to me. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, set it up, see how it sounds. The bass sounds good, passive. Again, I didn't want to lose my passive tone, so this preamp allows me like to still play in passive mode. Like the bass still has good tone passive. May not even need a preamp, but it sounds good. Is everything all the way over? This is the bridge pickup only. So this song sounds good passive. You know, I like the tone of the bass passive. The only problem, I played it, got it a couple of days ago. I played it yesterday at rehearsal. And of course it's lacking power. That's the only thing about a passive bass. You know, you have to crank the amp. Then you get the amp cracked, there's more noise. So, you know, I just wanted to get a preamp to get more power. But I want to keep some of the passive tone, so. So, you know, it sounds good. You know, so, you know, I'm going to go ahead and change it out and see how it comes out. So just be looking for my second part of my video. I'm going to do part 2 probably tomorrow, so I'm going to get to the work to the bass tonight. So, you know, be looking out so we have a better idea, you know, what the bass sound like. I play, you know, a little bit more, you know, just kind of excuse some of the buzz. Again, I'm in Texas. Today was 85, but I'm blowing my AC in the house. It's freezing in here. So, you know, I took the bass out yesterday with the, you know, it was humid, and then today I'm in the house, I'm blowing the AC. So, have a little fret buzz. So yeah, so you know, it'll be nice when I get, you know, once I get done. So just be, you know, looking out, and just check out my video. Look for part 2. You be looking out for part 2, and check you guys later. Take care.